Bug types are kind of struggling in Generation Jumble Season 2, but it's not because of the bug type itself, because they're getting a lot of nice buffs. For example, because of the role we made with Crobat and Gurdra getting Dragon Claw and Poison Jab, pretty much all bug types, even if they don't learn it, get the move Bug Bite. So Armaldo, while you don't see it here, it does learn Bug Bite in Gen 5, not Gen 4. I think Pinsir doesn't learn Bug Bite until like the same gen as well. But here, we're deciding to give him those, and it's been helping them out a lot. In fact, with Psychic types being more popular than ever, just in general, Bug Stab is actually pretty good, even though we're not using X-Scissor. But the reason why the bug type is struggling is because my best friend Myrox is insistent on using Mono Bug. But it's not very good, and not really. I tried making him a Drag Mag sort of team but it's with bugs. So I put Rhydon and Starmie here because your biggest ops to bugs are Zapdos and like any rock type or rock type move. But he still doesn't want it because like there's no Vespiquen. So I'm probably gonna have to make him a pure bug team, which is gonna be shudder at the thought. But at the very least, he wants to play and have fun. And that's completely fine. If you would like to play in the Generation Jumble, feel free to join the Discord server. Not to mention, along with the link to that server, there's also a link to just all of the information for Generation Jumble Season 2. There's a lot of fun stuff. I'm not sure if I have any replays for a bug team here. For these replay videos, I'm going to try to talk about Generation Jumble before, sort of like how I talk about, what if videos. Hopefully to get you guys more hooked in, instead of just me just talking about like, oh hey, Generation Jumble, this thing's happening now, it's pretty cool. Like, actually give you some insight in the format before reacting to stuff. And even though, like, I can't guarantee you'll see a lot of bugs in these replays, that kind of means instead you'll just see real constructed teams. Which I know isn't why you're all here. You came here because I'm bug messing around back, but I'll try my best to keep you guys entertained. And we're going to start off with 2 replays I didn't get to yesterday. These are like the match between Robo Push and Great Gusto. These were matches I also saw live, and these were super good. So I am very excited to react to these. Especially since now it's been 2 days. So I don't even remember what happened by heart. I only remember the end. Now starting off, we lead with Starmie against another Starmie. Robo immediately goes into Chansey. The Chansey gets paralyzed, which is pretty great. Gusto goes into Scyther. So actually, yeah, we do get to see bug types. Let's go. A Chansey goes for Light Screen, which will not help against Scyther, unfortunately. Switching to Gudra, Gusto gets gets greedy and goes for a second Swords Dance. Starmie paralyzes, but another Pokemon is taken out by the Scyther. His attack stat is just crazy right now. Scyther survives a Fire Blast, KOs the Gonadel. So now Gusto just has this huge lead. A critical Blizzard does a lot of damage to the Moltres, but it's not enough. It goes for Agility. It tries to trap, but unfortunately, again, the Fire Spin misses. I'm not sure why I said again, but a critical Fire Spin does kind of help. You pivot out into Executor, you go for Blizzard, you get another crit, does about half. The Tauros gets put to sleep. And if only you went for Hyper Beam there, but you could have known. The Psychic does a lot of damage to the Tauros. Tauros gets taken out. You go in the Chansey. You blow up. The Chansey gets taken out. And last you have is Alakazam. Alakazam gets a critical hit on the Tentacruel. Next you take out Chansey. You go for Seismic Toss, which honestly isn't really that good, but it's whatever. Chansey has Blizzard, which means it actually has well power points, meaning that this Alakazam could theoretically stall out the Chansey. You get a critical Psychic, that's good. The Chansey also gets a special lowered, that's also pretty good. Blizzard does even less to you. You get a free heal in, which is always pretty nice. But instead, you get greedy, you go for another Psychic, lowers the Chansey special even more. You paralyze the Moltres so it can't Fire Spin trap you. You go for Psychic, it goes down. You have Starmie, unfortunately. Blizzard does good damage. You go for Thunder Wave. Now you can heal. Are we going to see a comeback with Robo Push? You go for another recover. You heal off damage. And theoretically, you could actually just stall out Starmie's Blizzards. Like, it only has 5 left. You go for another recover. They try to go for Psychic. Suddenly, it's a much more dangerous game. They go for another Psychic. Doesn't get the special drop, but you're fully paralyzed again. They hit you with Psychic again. You go for recover. They are fully paralyzed. And you're fully paralyzed again. It's so close. And it's scary, especially if you're Robo Plush here. You go for a Psychic, you don't get the special drop. They get a critical hit. But still, no special drop. You lower them even more. They go for recover. You are fully paralyzed. They're fully paralyzed. You go for recover. They're trying to go for Blizzard, which gets a crit. It does a lot of damage to you. You heal off the damage. They go for another Blizzard, for some reason. You go for Seismic Toss. Only the Chansey does decent chip here. You go for another Seismic Toss. Do they get fully paralyzed? Yes, they do. You finish off the Starmie, meaning it's just Chansey versus Alakazam now. And you try to heal with Alakazam. And Chansey heals. You heal again. I probably would have waited for another attack, but then again, with full paralysis, you never know what can happen. You paralyze the Chansey, it's no longer faster than you. You get a critical Psychic and a special drop. That Blizzard gets a crit, but as long as you don't get full para, you're fine. You heal off. They go for Blizzard. Doesn't do that much. You go for another Psychic. You get another crit and another special drop. This match is over as soon as Alakazam can attack. But Alakazam goes for Psychic. And that, my friends, was the greatest comeback ever. Taking out Starmie, Tentacruel, Chansey, Moltres, just with Alakazam. That is what we like to see. So far in these replays, with Robopush specifically, he is the absolute champ when it comes to comebacks. And that is something that is great. Alright, let's see what the other match is. Okay, round 2. We have Starmie versus Starmie again. This time they're opting to paralyze each other. Or did that happen last game? I don't remember. Going for Thunderbolt, does decent chip. Gusto's Starmie is fully paralyzed. They go into the Grass Guy. But Starmie, I think, can... I feel like Starmie actually could stay in there. Or maybe it didn't have Blizzard. Ice Beam does decent chip. They tried going for Sweet Powder. Now, because they missed, you know what they're going to go for next time. They're forced to switch into Scyther. But now Scyther goes for a Swords Dance. You go for Blizzard. It hits really hard. They go for Bug Bite, which unfortunately OHKOs. But the Starmie has already put in a lot of work. Like doing decent damage to Starmie, putting the Executor to half health. And Fire Blast is enough to KO the Executor. Moltres comes out. You go for Thunderbolt. Doesn't really do that much, but the chicken can't really hurt you that much in the first place. There's Fire Spin, sure, but even with a crit, it does practically nothing. Use that opportunity to pivot into Starmie, but you're already at half health, meaning that the Naganadel can easily take you out. You go into Tauros here. You can hit with an Ice Beam, but there's no Frozen, you're fine. And the Naganadel is already threatening enough to where you can probably just... Yeah, I think it's fine to use your Tauros like this. It's not like regular Gen 1, where Tauros is so valuable you want to save it to the end. Not that Tauros isn't good, but I think we can all agree that Naganadel is just as dangerous here. You're trying to fish for that crit, you unfortunately don't get it. This Chansey will probably finish you off here. There you go. You go into your own Chansey. This should be fun. You go for Light Screen, so now theirs can barely hurt you. They go to Tentacruel. Thunderbolt does decent chip. You go into Naganadel, but this is fine, you're faster. They go into Chansey. You can't move. Dragon Pulse does nothing. They hit you with an Ice Beam. I would imagine you go for the crit. Okay, that's risky, but I like it. I like it a lot. You go for Thunderbolt, does good damage, but Naganadel does get taken out here. Now you have Alakazam, and Alakazam can just very easily just finish off this game. Moltres can survive here, but the special drop, oh, even if you went for Agility, that just dooms it. There is no way Moltres is finishing off so many Pokemon with a special drop. Oh, that is so unfortunate. But either way, that was a great 2-0 from Robo. Like, he has improved so much from Season 1. And I'll just give you guys a little bit of lore. Robo tried asking me, saying like, hey, like, maybe, like, you can, like, help train me. And he kept on saying multiple times, I know I can do good, I just need to find the right Pokemon. But then, I'll be honest, I kind of doubted it. But look here. Robo was the one that was right, and I was wrong. I will admit that I made a mistake. I was wrong to underestimate him. But now it really seems like he has, like, found his own. And a lot of Gen 1 Pokemon too, such as Starmie or Alakazam, which seem to do a lot of great things for Robo. So I'm just genuinely proud of him. Yeah, I'll be honest here. So GG's. The Great Gusto as well. He put up a great fight, and he always tries to use more interesting strategies. Now we're gonna get to the replays that were sent today. You guys have been playing a lot of games, and it's gonna be fun. We have Cyber DJ versus Sotina. I've loved a lot of Sotina's replays so far. She's been able to do a lot of innovation, such as like being the first person to start like Gen 1 Dragmag, as well as making me realize that Slowbro is actually pretty usable. You just have to change what its moveset is. And Cyber DJ, as we all know, member of the Generation Jumble Council, made it in second place in last season's tournament. So I'm excited to see how this goes. Alright, let's get this started. Starting off with Wee Alakazam and Herbert the Pervert. Unfortunately, the Alakazam gets put to sleep. Seeing as that's debatably the most valuable Pokemon this season, that's actually really bad. Ice Beam this decent chip. I'm assuming you're just gonna assume that this Hypno doesn't have any physical attacks. And to be honest, I think Hypno needs, like, Meditate in order to hit hard physically. This is actually fine. You switch back into Alakazam, because you might as well try to use these turns to burn off Sweep. But Sotina is just great at the game. You're waking up immediately. Do you switch out? No, you just go for Psychic, trying to go for a special drop. You get it. You get put to sleep. But I would imagine... Oh, that's actually even better, just going in the Golisopod. They're in a lot of damage, or a lot of danger now. I guess you were predicting a ground type, that's why you went for Surf. You go into Iron Hands. Iron Hands take this Annihilate easily. Even with the Earthquake, you go for Sword Stance. And what exactly are you going for here? I guess your own Earthquake? But it isn't enough. Very unfortunate. I don't even... Yeah, I think like the crit didn't matter there. They go for Well Kick, does a crap ton of damage, but Chansey does not get the KO. Forced to switch out into Golisopod, tanks that Well Kick very easily, eats up that Hyper Beam. Golisopod is just a very dangerous Pokemon defensively, and it's actually pretty good at fighting against the fighting types. Zamazenta here gets poisoned, but not a big deal. What going against Armaldo is, considering it only has normal moves. You go for Reflect, so I guess you're going to try to stall out the Armaldo. That's actually not a bad strategy. To be honest, it kind of makes Slash better than Body Slam, since you can always guarantee a crit. So Armaldo has max attack, but how much damage is it going to do? Okay, technically that's, yeah, you're going overcommitting there. With just 2 Sword Stance, you already have max attack. Another Slash, and they go for Hyper Beam, which is not enough. Zamazenta has Rest. This Armaldo can't do anything. And keep in mind, that was like Zamazenta with like a lot of poison chip damage. Psychic gets a critical hit, unfortunately, taking out the Zamazenta. You go into Chansey, but you're very low HP. Cyber switches out for some reason. Chansey goes for Psychic, getting the special drop. The Hypno is fully paralyzed. You go for Ice Beam, does significantly more damage. The Chansey's not paralyzed, but that's fine. You go into Sneasler. They go into Alakazam. You get the critical Hyper Beam! Holy shit, that's awesome! Okay, you switch on the Golisopod. You take this Earthquake very easily. Poison Jabs could be super effective, which is annoying, especially when it's a crit, taking you out. You go into Chansey because I guess you don't have any better options because the Alakazam's asleep. But that Psychic, this 2 KOs the Nidoking. Go into Sneasel, this Hyper Beam finish off here. It doesn't matter. You go for Low Kick, and not enough unfortunately, but neither is Hyper Beam. You go for Sword Stance, okay, I like this. You go for Hyper Beam, the Armaldo gets taken out. You can pretty much just finish off basically everything. Yeah, I think Saltina wins this now. Hyper Beam, finish off the Nidoking. The crit mattered, probably. All you have left is Hypno, which is paralyzed. Unfortunately, you miss. That is so unfortunate. Now you just have a sweeping Alakazam versus Hypno. Oh, this Hypno's gonna get a lot of free opportunities to go for a special drop. The Alakazam could be in danger, but the Hypno is paralyzed. Okay, the Alakazam finally wakes up. You get the special drop, but Hypno's at low health, so it might not be that bad. You also get the special drop, but Alakazam gets put back to sweep again. This is looking very dangerous. It's really close. Okay. Getting more Psychic hits in. You finally wake up. You gotta heal here. You gotta. You have no other choice. But you get put back to sweep again. Okay, this is really stressful. No special drop, thankfully. But how many Psychics does Hypno have? It has 7 left. But with Alakazam getting weaker and weaker, it's just not looking good. You need to wake up soon. But it looks like it's too late. You need full paralysis and to wake up this turn. But you don't get it. So, Cyber takes the win in a very, very, very close game. That is so unfortunate. I was so rooting for Saltina there. But still, that was a very close-ass game. And that was, like, that Hyper being missing is just so unfortunate. But even then, like, Cyber still barely won that. Just some better sweep luck, and the Alakazam could have woken up. It probably would have woken up the next turn, in all honesty. Because, like, how many turns was it asleep for? Now we have Saltina versus Bobby? That's how you say it? Lead Alakazam again versus another same Lead Alakazam. You paralyze each other. This is fine. You switch into Galvantula. You switch into Swellow. Galvantula has a big advantage here, but I would say Iron Hands has a bigger advantage. What do you go for? Okay, going for Sword Stance. With Clamp, it's going to be annoying, but not so much when you miss. Oh my gosh, okay, that's actually pretty huge. Clamp missing twice is a little unfortunate. Hyper Beam takes out the Chansey. You go into Haxorus. Not exactly sure why you didn't go into Alakazam, though. Like, is there any reason for that? Whatever. Go into Naganadel. You'll easily revenge kill the Haxorus. They have Alakazam they can go into, or Galvantula. Fire Blast is going to hit really hard. You just go for Thunder Wave. But I'm not sure what else you do here. I guess you go for super effective Bug Bite, but that's whatever. But Alakazam can very easily, or Annihilate can take out the... I don't know what's going on here. And technically, Meditate is an illegal move. But I understand using it because I made a big deal about Annihilate getting it. But Zach and Theus told me he would end up being wrong about that. That's only with its National Dex moveset. So I'll have to just make that clear after I'm done with this video. But of course, the Swellow can very easily take out the Alakazam. You probably need booster special a little bit more, but doesn't really matter. Yeah, the game's over now. So GG to Saltina. Let's see what else we got. Next off, we have a rematch with these two, it looks like. We go with the Lead Jinx versus Lead Alakazam. Obviously, the Jinx here is way more threatening, because putting an Alakazam to sleep can almost be a game over. But Slowbro is a great Pokemon to switch into here. You have Amnesia versus Meditate, but Amnesia is definitely going to boost you a lot faster too. That's a 2 KO. Hyper Beam is not enough. You're taken out, but the Swirbo is taking a lot of chip. You have to switch out because of the Jolteon. Thunderbolt does decent damage. And unfortunately, the Zapdos can't actually hurt this Jolteon too much. So Tina is gonna lose her Zapdos, it looks like. But at the very least, Jolteon does get paralyzed. You go for Drill Peck. I guess trying to go after Jolteon's, well, defense? What else do you go into now? You go into the Gonadel. Dragon Pulse does decent chip, but unfortunately the Gonadel does get paralyzed. Jolteon goes for Rest, but this just means that the Gonadel could potentially fish for crits, which isn't even that bad. You go for Dragon Pulse, you get a crit. It's going to take out the Jinx, but not when it's full paralysis. But you survive. So now, you get fully paralyzed again. Jinx gets fully paralyzed. You go for Dragon Pulse. The Jinx gets taken out. But now Sneasel can just very easily set up a revenge kill. Fire Blast could have been threatening, but you're fully paralyzed there. So what else do you do? Okay, Gengar is actually good at walling out the Sneasel, I will say. Psychic is that he's using Snorlax, doesn't do a lot. A critical Earthquake is unfortunate. That takes out the Slowbro. They go into Tauros. I guess you just use Jolteon as a, like, just as death fodder. Crit probably didn't matter there, because it's Jolteon, but who even knows at this point? Going into Articuno, that's interesting. Going for Agility, and now you can just outspeed and hit everything with Blizzard. A critical Blizzard is enough to take out the Tauros. They go into Alakazam. You go for Double Edge. You can theoretically chip away at this Alakazam, or you can get a critical hit, just winning you the game immediately. Lastly, you have Gengar. It's going to take a lot of damage from this Blizzard. Poison Jab does practically nothing, but you do get the poison, I guess. Do you just go for Psychic? Yeah, you do. But it's not enough, unfortunately. Going for Double Edge for some reason? I'm just going to assume that was a misclick. Going to Snorlax. You pull up, going out with a bang. And that was game 2. Okay, that was a good game 2. And I meant 2 as in T-O-O. Not... you get the point. Alright, let's see. Do they have a round 3? I kind of hope so, because these guys are doing pretty good. Doesn't look like it. Instead, we have Cyber DJ versus Zack and Theus. The council members are fighting. Let's see how this goes. Weed Armaldo is interesting. Hypno switches out. And Annihilate, which can wall Armaldo very well. And Annihilate can also wall Annihilate very well. Goes for Metronome. That's funny. Let's see what else. What do you get? You get Acid. Does basically nothing. Going for another Metronome, you get Haze. You get hit with Psychic. You're going for Screech. Okay. I guess you're just trying to set up. What do you take out? Oh my gosh, that is just... Okay, going for Slash just ignores the defense shop though. So... Not exactly... okay, you should have just gone for Earthquake at the beginning. But also you're using Metronome, so you're very obviously not just taking this battle seriously. So I'm not even sure why I'm criticizing here. I think I'm just being an asshole. Now Cloyster takes the Blizzard very well. The Nidoking can use Poison Jab, but it's freaking Cloyster. You don't take any damage. And a critical clamp will kill you if you don't switch out here. Go into Annihilate. You switch into Alakazam. You go into Chansey. Chansey gets paralyzed. Cloyster can outspeed, but Poison is actually very annoying for Cloyster specifically. If it doesn't have... Oh my god. Damn. Oh, as I can see us at that too. We share the same brain cell, it looks like. Luckily, Annihilate can't really hurt Armaldo much outside of flinches. Bug Bite, though, doesn't do a lot of damage. So you kind of have to go for Earthquake if you have it. But even then, it was not enough. Unfortunate. Crit mattered. Go back into Alakazam. You're a lot more threatening. You switch into Haxorus. But Cyber DJ calls out the bluff and just stays in. I can respect the play. Alakazam. Now you switch into Chansey. Chansey gets hit by Psychic. You don't get the special drop. You use Psychic again. Alakazam gets paralyzed. And now you just have a wasted turn. Fortunate. Looks like you finally got the special drop. But Cyber is just built different. And he gets a crit. Going into monkey business, you get killed. Not a big deal. You have 4 Pokemon left. Alakazam gets hurt. I can't talk. The Nidoking killed the Alakazam. That's all that matters. Last but not least, you have the Gonadel. Fire Blast gets a crit. You go into Alakazam. You need a critical Hyper Beam, but something tells me you don't have that. Okay, you do. But you weren't lucky, unfortunately. Whatever. Let's see what the next games are like. Cyber DJ versus Acanthius again. Alright. Sneasel versus Hypno. Going for Toxic Spikes. Your Sneasel probably isn't good for that, but... Look at the chat. Cyber's comment just, what? Oh, that is so great. I love this format so much. And I love my council members. Psychic does a lot of damage to the Nidoking. You're forced to switch out. Get a critical Psychic. Do you get the special drop? No, you don't. Go into Executor. Somehow Cyber calls that. Okay, Cyber is just the greatest player known to man. Zakan is saying that's fair for what I... Wait, what? Okay, that's fair for what I did. I'm so skilled. Said in the tone in which that mocks Groundback. What the... I'm not even a part of this! Why are you bringing me up? And... sometimes I think Cyber DJ doesn't like it when I say I'm so skilled when I get hacks such as getting freezes. But that might just be me. Alright. Like I was saying though, I don't even think Zach's play was that bad. I think very, often, you're always going to switch into Executor because you're going to assume they're going to go for Thunder Wave. Armaldo gets a free chance to set up, but Zacanthius is just built different and goes for Reflect. Thunderbolt gets a lot of damage with a crit. You go into Iron Hands. Let's hope this thing doesn't have... Actually, it doesn't matter because Iron Hands is faster. Hypno's still a big threat. Psychic gets a 2-hit KO. You go for Rock Slide. Even with the crit... Oh, wait, no, that actually does good damage. What the hell? A free switch into Starmie, really. Hypno gets paralyzed. Starmie gets put to sleep, which is unfortunate. Going into Zapdos. You survive the Psychic. Going for Drill Peck. Zapdos gets taken out. Go back into Iron Hands. Hyper Beam misses. That is so sad. Now you're kind of just forced to try to wake up with Starmie. But luckily with Rest, you have a few turns just to burn off the sleep. You don't get it yet. But now you do. You can hit with Psychic. You don't get a special drop. You go for Thunder Wave. They hit with Psychic and get a critical hit. But no special drop, thankfully. You hit with a critical Ice Beam. Starmie gets put to sleep. Probably should have gone for Recover there. Now you're just kind of screwed. Because Psychic is just going to finish you off. I do not know what else you could have done there. That was just a... Poison Jab does, pitiful damage. I'm going to keep saying this, but I don't think Poison Jab is good at all on the Gonadel. So Chansey comes out, use Fire Blast, but yeah. Zacanthius, this is what I get for Toxic Spikes. Yeah, Sneasel could have been helpful. Not gonna lie. I think the best Toxic Spikes user is Toxapex. But unfortunately, there's other poison types that are good. So just don't use Toxic Spikes. We have another match between these two. Let's see how this one goes. Starmie versus Weed. Hypno again. You better not have T-Spikes, cringe. I'm gonna put this on fast. Because I think this is mostly gonna be the same Pokemon. Alakazam paralyzes Hypno. Paralyzes you back. I don't know how good Hypno is. I'm gonna be honest. Cyber is making it work. But at the same time, his opponent is using Sneasel Weed with Toxic Spikes. So... I couldn't really tell you. The Hypno Rest... Let me think here. Why would you want to use Hypno? I guess it's like Executor, but it does have a poison weakness, which seems pretty relevant. Not to mention Hypno, if you're using the other Psychic types, it's just having another one of it. Having another Psychic type you can use. But it's not as bad if the Hypno gets put to sleep or something. You still have like a Starmie or Alakazam in the back. Annihilate was able to very easily tank that poison jab. Doesn't really care about the poison at all. Does care about the psychic. You finally get the Screech off. You're finished off. Going to Iron Hands. Hyper Beam does kill. Go into your own monkey business. Thunder gets a crit. It's not enough for a 2 KO, unfortunately. But if you get another one, okay, doesn't matter. Actually, wait. Oh, that's cool. Needle King revenge kills. Going to Chansey. Earthquake is not a 2 KO, but you do get to put the Needle King to sleep. That is huge. You go into Chansey. I guess you might try to go for freeze. No, you just go for Seismic Toss. Okay. Go into Needle King. You hit super effective Ice Beam. Does a lot of damage. You are killed. Bug Bite with a crit. It does a lot more than I would have expected. The Armaldo gets put to sleep. Chansey gets a chance to heal. You go for, I imagine, Seismic Toss. Or you can just not move at all because you're paralyzed. Going for Ice Beam. Does whatever. This is taking forever. A Seismic Toss does a lot more damage. You finally wake up, but somehow Zach predicted you were going to wake up there. What the hell? Armaldo wakes up. You can finish off the Chansey now. And is everything paralyzed? Okay, it doesn't actually matter because you have the Gonadel. Poison Jab does remit damage. But just enough there, apparently. Okay, if the Chansey didn't paralyze, you could have revenge killed. You finally get a crit. Chansey takes a lot of damage. Poison. Not sure he didn't heal there. Armaldo gets taken out. A super effective Bug Bite on the Starmie. That is huge. Starmie's taken out. Going to Alakazam, but it's also paralyzed. Going to the Gonadel, but it's also paralyzed. And we're just seeing the power of Armaldo. With Bug Stab, it's just very dangerous. 2 more replays left. And my throat's starting to go out again. Another one between these two? Jesus Christ, these guys do not know how to get along. That's a joke. Mostly. And also the Starmie's just really good, getting a crit and a special drop. Not enough to kill the Snorlax, unfortunately. You don't get the paralysis though, so Snorlax is taken out. You go into Walking Wake, or Walking Wake with dinosaurs. Hyper Beam kills the Starmie. You go into Alakazam. Hydro Pump does like a decent amount. Ooh, but I like the counter there. You're predicting it going for Hyper Beam. That's pretty cool. Walking Wake already gets 2 kills. Iron Hands gets a free Sword Stance. Nothing this Walking Wake can do that can really threaten you. Earthquake's not enough to kill you, unfortunately. Go for another Sword Stance. Walking Wake's taken out. You have Alakazam. I guess that means you don't have Hyper Beam, which is a shame. I would have gone for it. Seeing you miss, which is sad. And I've said this before, I don't think Sing is very good this generation. And that's because there's so many things that can just immediately threaten Chansey. To where Chansey can't really afford to get free turns anymore. You're forced to switch out. Go into the Gonadel. The Gonadel can do a lot of damage with Dragon Pulse, especially with a crit, but it's not enough to kill. You get paralyzed. And Drill Peck does decent damage. You miss Fire Blast. You get hit with a critical Drill Peck, which kills you. You go into Iron Hands. You can very easily tank anything that Zapdos has. I personally would have used the opportunity to go for Sword Stance. You go for Psychic. You go for Hyper Beam, which is not enough. With Sword Stance, it would have been. Even Earthquake might have been enough, now that I think about it. You only have a Pokemon that hasn't been revealed yet. And Chansey is probably going to go down very soon. Even with Soft Boiled, it's just, the odds are just not in Chansey's favor right now. So let's put this on fast. Let's see how long this takes. Or actually hyper fast, because my voice is really throwing out right now. Oh boy. I need some water after this. But if you enjoyed these replays, please let me know in the comments below. Because it helps out a lot when you guys give me your support. And I still like to show you guys what the community is doing. Even though, like, there's just so many replays now that it's actually kind of Hard for me to do it, but as Convex said, I'm just training my voice. So I should be fine after I just do enough of these. And last but not least, we have a newcomer, Lord Urkamox? Or Urkrama? I don't know how to say it. But there's someone that I believe just joined literally today. So once again, may I remind you that you should join the Discord server. And because not only will I back to your replays, I already said that I will have at least one game with every single new person. And it's just a lot of fun, as you can see from these replays. Because I haven't been, only using, most of these are just blind replays. And even with that, as you could probably tell, almost all of these they're pretty spicy, wouldn't you say? Let's get this match started. We have Weak Galvantula versus Starmie. Starmie hits the Psychic. It doesn't get the special drop, unfortunately, but Galvantula does get the crit. You go into Iron Hands, you're forced to go into Snorlax. This Iron Hands is actually a huge threat to you. It probably doesn't have Low Kick. You go for Earthquake. Ooh, but it doesn't look good, especially when Iron Hands has Hyper Beam. You go into Armaldo. Thunder does a chip, I guess. But Earthquake probably does a lot more there, as you can see. But Armaldo, with the crit, actually saving the Iron Hands, because Swords Dance does slightly more damage. A Thunderbolt will finish off the Iron Hands. Still anyone's game. You go for Thunder Wave. They go for Rock Slide, which kills you. No, it doesn't kill you. Galvantula survives. You go in the Walking Wake. Okay, this Walking Wake is super threatening. Okay, or it doesn't look like it because Hydro Pump didn't do much, but if you get a crit, it hurts like hell. Annihilate not getting the unfortunate paralysis. It finally does there. Also, don't use Hydro Pump when they're low on HP. In fact, I actually highly recommend using both Hydro Pump and Surf. Chansey gets taken out. Poison Jab continuing to be mid as always. You paralyze in the Gonadel. You go for Reflect, making it even worse. You have Seismic Toss, which is fair. You can probably just soft blow the damage. Yes, you can. The Gonadel can do nothing to you. You try to go for Fire Blast, just have some sort of chip with Burn, but it doesn't really do a lot to you. Poison Jab gets a crit. You heal. And the Gonadel, it's only a matter of time before the Chansey wins. You can just keep soft blowing till you're at a good position. And Burn is literally the best thing this Chansey can have. Okay, the Gonadel isn't dead yet, but it's one more turn, I would have to guess, unless you get a crit here, but you don't. So the Chansey kills the Gonadel. You have Alakazam left, but with this Chansey not being able to get paralyzed, it is very, very annoying, because this Chansey is always going to be faster than you. You go in the Walking Wake, might as well sack it. Your last Pokemon, okay, it doesn't matter, you're just going back in the Chansey. Going for counter. Not even sure if that works properly. Does it? We'll have to see. I'm curious. Counter does in fact work, but it doesn't do a lot of damage, unfortunately. So I think Zagantheus is dead for here, but let's speed this up a little bit just to see. You go into Tauros. Tauros gets paralyzed, unfortunately. You're just in a game where you're going for recover. Okay, final Pokemon's Chansey. Let's see who actually wins this. It's very dangerous if you are the Chansey player. Now it's just a Chansey mirror, but one of them's burned. Oh, this is going to take forever. I don't even know who wins this. Because the burn is actually really beneficial for the Chansey, as it can't get paralyzed, nor can it get frozen. But it doesn't have Ice Beam of its own, so... Oh, this is so hard to watch, and it's on hyper fast. Okay, currently, the turn is in the 60s. How high is this actually gonna get? I don't know, and I'm scared. Oh, okay, so... Forfeiting at 69? Okay, even though technically like Zach and Thea's won, I'm just gonna call that a draw. Let's actually look at the power points here. Okay, you were almost out of soft boils. Okay, Zach and Thea's had way more. Okay, yeah, actually no. Zach and Thea's was going to win this long term. Especially since once you get rid of those soft boils, you're taking passive burn chip every turn. Not to mention you're running out of seismic tosses. Okay, yeah, Zach and Thea's won this. So, okay. Those are some good games. And I hope you guys join the server. You're running out of time. We are having a tournament soon on April 2nd. And I'm gonna try to get a document set up to where you can sign up for it. But that's about it so far. So thank you all for watching. This is Groundback, and until next time, I look forward to hearing from you.